Hello again, Shorebird monitors. My name is Bobby Carpenter. I'm the Florida Shorebird Database Data Quality Manager. From here on, I'll be referring to the Florida Shorebird Database as the FSD. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to add a solitary shorebird nest site. We'll start by going to the FSD website and log into your account. I'll be using our demonstration website today, but don't worry, everything you see here is the same as the FSD. And once you're logged in, you'll be brought to the My Data page. Here you'll see all of the routes, sites, and rooftops that you monitor. So we want to add a solitary site to our route. And remember that all sites are associated with a route. So to add a site, the first thing we need to do is go to the routes list and find the route where our site is located. If you need help adding a route to your list, you can go up to your Resources tab and check out the video on how to add a route to your list. So we're going to come back to our routes list and we're going to look for the route that we want to add a site to. And the route name is Carlos Point, so we find that in our list, and we're going to come over and click on this diamond that is to add sites to this particular route. We'll click on that icon, and now you'll be brought to the Add Existing Sites to My Route page. Here you'll see this table on the left is all of the routes that exist in the database that are not on your list but are associated with the route. And then over here to the right is a map of all of the sites that are along this route. And if you notice, some are yellow. They correspond with the ones that you have in the table over here, and some of them are orange, and the ones that are orange are the ones that are sites that already exist in the route that you have on your list. So we're going to come back over and we're going to zoom in on this map and look for the site that we want to add. And this looks like the site we want to add. So if you hover over the top of the diamond, the name of the site will pop up. And so now we're going to look for this SNPL5 over here in our table. So you find that in the table, and you're going to check the box to the left of the site name, and notice that now that diamond has this border around it, signifying that you've selected that particular site. So once you have all the sites that you want to add checked and selected, you're going to come down and click on this Add Selected Sites button. And once the site has been added, you'll see this note below saying that sites have been added. You want to bring your attention back over to the map now, and this was the site that we added, and you'll notice that it has gone from this yellow to the orange, letting you know that it has been added to your list. And so the other site that we know exists out there is not showing up on our map, so that means we're going to have to create a new site for that nest. So we're going to come back over to the left and click on this Create New Sites on the Route button. So we'll click that, and it will take us to this page called Establishing a New Nesting Site. And your first step is to select your nest type. And your options are either a colonial seabird or a solitary shorebird site. And today we're going to be creating a new shorebird nest site. So we'll click our solitary and then click Continue. And then you'll be taken to this Establish a New Solitary Site page. And your first step is to select the location of the nest site. So you have two methods that you can choose between. You can either either create the location by entering a latitude and longitude that you collected with the GPS or a phone, or you can use the capture-click method and the map. And today we're going to be using the capture-click method. And so we're going to zoom into our route. Before we go to actually creating our site, I'd like to quickly point out that sometimes when you zoom in all the way, the imagery isn't as new as if you zoom out a notch. And these watermarks will show you. So here, your imagery is a little bit older when you get in a little bit closer and you zoom out a notch, and your imagery is newer. We've got 2020. This is just something to be aware of when you're zooming in and creating your sites or your routes, and if it looks a little off, that might be why. Just keep that in mind and do the best that you can while using capture-click. So in our case, we're up in here and there's not a big difference in the imagery between the couple of years that it's different. So now that we're zoomed in and we know our site's right in this area, we're going to come back over and click on this capture click button. And once it's clicked, you'll see that it's turned dark gray, and that means that it's active. You'll see this little plus sign, and wherever you see this plus sign, once you left click, it will drop a point. So we're going to drop our point by left clicking, and we didn't quite put our point where we wanted to. So instead of starting over, you can move that point by hovering until you see this hand. Once you see this hand, you can left click and hold the button down, and then you can drag your mouse and move this point wherever you need to drop it. So we can put it right there. So now we have our point where we want. If you needed to move the map from side to side, you do the same thing as to move your point. You're going to left click, hold, and you can drag your map around to wherever you need to see. So now that you have your point where you want it, you're going to scroll down and you're going to go to step 2 where you provide your site details. So you start off by giving your site a name, and we suggest giving some type of descriptive name that is kind of helpful. So we're going to be naming this particular site CP because this is Carlos Point, is the name of our route, and then we're going to type in SNPL because it's a snowy plover and it's the 4th nest we found. So once we've created our name, the next step is to select the species. This is, like I said, snowy plover. Then you come down and we've got renest ? So here's where you report if a nest is a new nest, a renest attempt, or if you're unsure if it's a new nest or a renest. And below your 3 options you have this not sure, see renest quick guide. If you click on this link, it will take you to the renest quick guide that will walk you through the steps on how to determine if the nest you're observing is a renest or if it's a new nest. So we know that our nest is a renest, so we will select yes, and now you'll see that this section renest sequence has popped up. And so to create or to select our original nest in our renest sequence, you'll come over and you'll click on this blue box with the 3 dots. And this will give you a pop-up window of all of the nests that are within a half a mile of your nest. This can be adjusted. Half a mile is a default. So now that our list has popped up, we're going to look for the nest that was the previous nest of this pair. And we know that the nest name was SNPL1, so we find that on our list, and we're going to come over to the left and click on this orange select. And now that nest is populated in our nest sequence box. And now our final step is to add a little bit of a site description. Here we're going to note that the nest is south of the palm trees, the palms by the blue house. Or I guess it's the house with the blue roof. And so now that we've added in our site description, we're just going to double check that our site is in the correct location and that everything is spelled correctly, there's no typos, everything looks good. And once you feel satisfied with your entry, you're going to come down and click on this blue submit button. Now you'll see this warning message pop up. It's basically letting you know that there are nests within 100 meters of your site. And this is just to make sure that you're not duplicating a nest that already exists. But we know that this is truly a new nest and it's not possibly one of these other 2 nests that are showing up in our list. So we know that it is a truly new site. We'll come down and click on continue and our nest site will be created. So now we're going to come back to the My Data page and we're going to look to see if our sites have been added. So first there's 2 ways you can look. You can look here in your solitary table, and here's the site we just created, the CP SNPL4, and then SNPL5 has been added. Or you can come up to your route, our Carlos Point route, and if you click on this view edit icon, it will bring up your route information, and here are all of the sites associated with your route listed out here. I hope you found this video helpful. Here at the top you'll notice the URL for the FSD. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, go to the FSD website and click on the Resources tab. If you would like to reach out to us with questions or comments, feel free to email us at flshorebird.database@myfwc.com. You'll find this email along with other contact information under the Help tab on the FSD website. Hope you have a great day, and thank you.